After we put all the objects to animate in their place, we start with the chopsticks to animate. Therefore, we select the two chopsticks that are placed on the other chopsticks and place the playhead on frame 20 in the timeline, and then by clicking on the white dot next to location and rotation in the object properties, we create keyframes. Then by turning on the auto keyframe and placing the playhead on frame 40, we move the chopsticks to the left by dragging and by pressing the R key and the number 90 and Z. We rotate them, and as you can see, we did this animation. And one point is that we create keyframes for the rest of the directions in frame 40 in the object properties section. Now again, at the beginning we put the playhead in frame 16 and by pressing numpad 1 we look at the scene from the front view, and by pressing the G and Z keys we place the chopsticks on the holder, and then by rotating and moving several times the end of the chopsticks, we place them on the table and place their heads upwards as they are on the holder. Finally, we check the animation and placements from different directions and by playing. For the next chopsticks, like the previous ones, we first create a keyframe in frame 20, and then to animate them better because they are at the further distance, we first create a keyframe in frame 30 in the middle of the pass, and then in frame 40 we place on holder and create keyframes. As the chopsticks are in frame 40, by pressing numpad 1 we look at this scene from the front view and set the chopsticks with the previous ones, and then in frame 60 like the previous ones by moving and rotating several times and adjusting them with the previous ones, we put them in the right place. Well guys, let's go to animate the third row of chopsticks. At first we create keyframes for locations and rotations in frame 20 for each chopsticks, and as you can see, we must place this series of chopsticks in the opposite direction. So at first we make sure that the auto keyframe is on, and then in frame 30 we move the chopsticks forward a bit and create a keyframe, and we also place the playhead on frame 40, and then we move chopsticks on the holder and create a keyframe for them to fix their location and rotation. And now we place the playhead on the frame 60 and select the chopsticks and rotate them around 180 degrees in the Z direction and to fix it. We create keyframes for their location and rotation, and then we look at this scene from the front view by pressing the numpad 1 and by pressing the G and Z keys. We move down the chopsticks until they are on the holder, and by pressing the R key we rotate tips of the chopsticks up until they are properly placed on the holder. Then we select the fourth row of chopsticks and place the playhead on frame 20 and make sure that auto keyframe is on. So we create keyframes for their location and rotation, and place the playhead on frame 30, and as you can see we place them behind the chopsticks of the third row, and then create a keyframe in the same place and place the playhead on frame 40, and then place the chopsticks on the holder, and we rotate minus 19 degrees and then we place the playhead on frame 60, and then we look at this scene from the right view by pressing the numpad 3, and by pressing the G and Z keys we move down the chopsticks until they are on the holder, and by pressing the R key we rotate the tips of the chopsticks up until they are properly placed on the holder, and finally we create keyframes for all their location and rotation. So we select the fifth row of chopsticks and place the playhead on frame 20. Make sure that auto keyframe is on, and we create keyframes for their location and rotation, and place the playhead on frame 25, and by pressing numpad 7 from we look at the scene from above and move the chopsticks a little to the left, and then place the playhead on frame 30 and move the chopsticks a little to the top and place the playhead on frame 40 and place the chopsticks on the holder, and we rotate minus 90 degrees in the Z direction, and then we look at the scene from the front view by pressing the numpad 1, And then we place the playhead on frame 60, and we move down the chopsticks until they are on the holder, and by pressing the R key we rotate the tips of the chopsticks up until they are properly placed on the holder, and then create a keyframe for them to fix their location and rotation. So then we select the sixth row of chopsticks and place the playhead on frame 20, and make sure that auto keyframe is on. So we create keyframes for their location and rotation, and place the playhead on frame 30. And as you can see, we place them a little bit near left the holder, and then create a keyframe in the same place and place the playhead on frame 40, and then place the chopsticks on the holder, and then we place the playhead on frame 60. So we look at this scene from the front view by pressing the numpad 1, and by pressing the G and Z keys we move down the chopsticks until they are on the holder, and by pressing the R key we rotate the tips of the chopsticks up until they are properly placed on the holder, and finally we create keyframes for all their location and rotation to fix there. Well guys, let's go to animate the first row of spoons. At first we select the first spoon and create keyframes for all location and rotations in frame 60. So after that we make sure that the auto keyframe is on, and then in frame 80 we move the spoon to the left between chopsticks and plate, and create a keyframe. Then by pressing the R key rotate it 90 degrees in the Z direction. Then we look at this scene from the front view by pressing the numpad 1, and we also place the playhead on frame 100, and then we move a spoon to the downward by pressing the G and Z keys as far as on the table, and create a keyframe for it to fix their location and rotation. So we select the second row of spoons and create keyframes for all location and rotations in frame 60. So after that we make sure that the auto keyframe is on, and then in frame 70 we move the spoon to the blue to the middle of the table. Then in frame 75 we move a spoon a little lower. So after that in frame 80 we move the spoon between chopsticks and plate and create a keyframe. Then by pressing the R key, rotate it 90 degrees in the Z direction. Then we look at this scene from the front view by pressing the numpad 1, and we also place the playhead on frame 100, and then we move spoon to the downwards by pressing the G and Z keys as far as on the table, and create a keyframe for it to fix their location and rotation. The next row is the third, which we must place on the table in the opposite direction. So we select the third row of spoons and create keyframe for all location and rotations in frame 60. So after that we make sure that auto keyframe is on, and then in the frame 70 we move the spoon to the below to the middle round of the table. After that in frame 80 we move the spoon between chopsticks and plate and create a keyframe, and we also place the playhead on frame 100, and then by pressing the R key, rotate it 180 degrees in the Z direction, and we move a spoon to the downwards by pressing the G and Z keys as far as on the table, and create a keyframe for it to fix their location and rotation. Then we select the fourth row of spoons and create keyframes for all location and rotations in frame 60. So after that we make sure that auto keyframe is on, and then in frame 80 we move the spoon to the right of the table. After that in frame 80 we move the spoon between chopsticks and plate and create a keyframe. Then by pressing the R key, rotate it minus 90 degrees in the zero in the Z direction. Then we look at this scene from the front view by pressing the numpad 1, and we also place the playhead on frame 100, and then we move a spoon to the downwards by pressing the G and Z keys as far as on the table, and create a keyframe for it to fix their location and rotation. So same the previous spoon, we select the fifth row of spoons and create keyframes for all location and rotations in frame 60, and then in frame 80 we move the spoon to the upper right of the table. After that in frame 80 we move the spoon between chopsticks and plate and create a keyframe. Then by pressing the R key, rotate it minus 90 degrees in the Z direction. Then we look at this scene from the front view by pressing the numpad 1, and we also place the playhead on frame 100, and then we move spoon to the downwards by pressing the G and Z keys as far as on the table, and create a keyframe for it to fix their location and rotation. Finally, we select the 6 row of spoons and create keyframes for all locations and rotations in frame 60. So after that, we make sure that the auto keyframe is on, and then in frame 80 we move the spoon to the above to the middle of the table. Then we move the spoon between chopsticks and plate and create a keyframe. Then we look at the scene from the right view by pressing the numpad 3, and we also place the playhead on frame 100, and then we move a spoon to the downwards by pressing G and Z keys as far as on the table, and create a keyframe for it to fix their location and rotation.